No problem.
Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Michael Clare, Head of Digital Assets and Fintech Operations at Liongate, Bahamas, to discuss the digital asset landscape in the Bahamas and global crypto policy. Michael, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Hey, Jill, thank you for having me, and I'm very proud and humbled to be a part of it. It's a very great show, and I've heard a lot about you guys, and it was great meeting you at Consensus too as well, and thank you for having me on board.
Yeah, you got it. And I wish we were actually doing this from the Bahamas. So I'm going to rely on you to tell us about the landscape in the Bahamas. Is the government crypto friendly? How are you approaching digital assets?
So our government has definitely made a stand to let the digital asset space know that the Bahamas is open for business in terms of the digital asset space. We're not very constrictive in terms of the regulations within the space. However, we've still released some sort of legislation that provides guardrails, in terms for digital assets businesses, somewhat for investors, to try to kind of limit the amount of nefarious activities that goes on with digital assets-based businesses as well. And it requires that those within the space receive a license prior to setting up shop and being involved within the space too as an entity. As Liongate Bahamas Limited we are actually one of 3 financial institutions to hold a DARE license. And DARE stands for Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges license. It's us, FTX, and Delchain Limited as well too. And as I said, our government is very much so open to it. They're not constrictive in terms of the regs surrounding it, and and we intend on building even more of an infrastructural point of view, taking that stance per se, as we grow as a nation and indulge in digital assets-based businesses.
So, Michael, tell us where Liongate Bahamas fits in the digital asset ecosystem.
So what Liongate Bahamas Limited offers is, we offer digital assets offerings in terms of, let's say you want OTC, high net worth individuals want to make purchases, sales, custody, as well as we allow for real estate transactions to be facilitated with crypto assets. So Liongate Bahamas Limited, just for a brief overview, we're actually the digital assets affiliate of the Equity Group. The Equity Group consists of Equity Investments Fund Services, Equity Trust, and Equity Bank Bahamas Limited as well too. So as we have the digital assets affiliate, which is Liongate Bahamas, we're still encompassed and surrounded by a suite of financial services and corporate services as well too.
And finally, what are your thoughts from a global policy perspective? I think part of the challenge here is keeping it uniform across the different legislative bodies. What are your thoughts when we think about digital assets and global legislation going forward?
I believe that the stance that we're taking, well, what's currently happening worldwide, I believe that regulations are necessary. As we know, digital asset space now is still kind of like the wild, wild west. There's still much going on right now currently that it needs regulations to actually be taken upon. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was an important. Okay.
Okay,
we're good. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that was a very important. That's why I sent a message. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry. So in terms of regulations worldwide, it's definitely needed. And it's important that the world does not take a constrictive approach in terms of regulations, because as we know, this technology is in the set. If you have a constrictory or contractory approach with regulations, it kind of hampers growth and it doesn't allow for full adaptation of all of the facets that the technology has to offer. But then again, you would still want to have regulations and rules in place such that we protect investors, such that we regulate the space, that it kind of hinders nefarious actors. Because as you know, we have a lot of scams. We have a lot of people in there who just do not want to act within a good space, and they're out just to fake people's money. So we need to protect investors. But worldwide, what we see is different legislations going into place within the U.S., within Europe as well too. So again, I think that it's very much so needed and it's very much so important, and it's great that we're taking that stance as as a universe to actually get that done, right?
All right, Michael, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you.